I banned my mother-in-law from seeing my kids unless my husband is home. My mother-in-law, Karen, and I used to get along great for the first few years I dated my husband, Jake, but everything changed when she reconnected with his ex-girlfriend's family at the grocery store one day. For context, Jake's ex, Megan, cheated on him with his best friend back in college. It destroyed him, and Karen was furious at Megan's family for months. But apparently, all was forgiven when they bumped into each other at Target. Karen started inviting Megan's parents over for dinner every few weeks. At first, I didn't care, but then she invited Megan herself when I was there. The whole dinner, Karen kept going on about how cute Jake and Megan used to be together, how perfect they were for each other, and how she missed having Megan around. I'm sitting right there listening to this woman gush over her son's cheating ex while completely ignoring me. When I pulled her aside later and told her it made me uncomfortable, she said I was being dramatic and insecure. From that point on, Karen tried everything to break us up. She told Jake I was suspicious and up to no good. She'd make little comments about how I wasn't good enough for him. She even suggested he should call Megan to catch up. Fast forward to last week. I just gave birth to our second baby, and Karen wanted to come see her new granddaughter. I said sure, no problem. We were all sitting in the living room talking when Jake got a call from work saying he needed to pick up some important documents. He apologized and said he'd be back in 30 minutes. I figured it would be fine to hang out with Karen alone for a bit. We were actually having a decent conversation about the baby when her phone rang. It was Megan's mom calling to chat. Karen spent 10 minutes on the phone with her, and when she hung up, she turns to me with this big smile and goes, "Great news. Linda's coming over to see the baby. She's already in her car." My stomach dropped. I told Karen I wasn't comfortable having Megan's family over while Jake wasn't home, and they could visit another day when he was back. Karen's whole attitude changed. She said I was being dramatic and that Linda was already driving over, so it was too late to cancel. I told her to call back and tell Linda not to come. That's when Karen completely lost it. She started yelling about how rude I was being and how it wasn't my decision who could come into the house. She said I didn't own the house and that her son did, so I had no say in the matter. I looked at her and said, "This is my home and my newborn baby, and I'm telling you no one else is coming over today." She stood up and screamed that I was an insecure little girl who couldn't handle being around my husband's ex-girlfriend's family. She said I was pathetic and controlling. I'd had enough. I called Jake and told him to come home immediately and take his mother with him because I couldn't deal with this stress right after giving birth. Jake came home 15 minutes later, took one look at both of us, and quietly asked his mom to leave. She stormed out, muttering about how I was ruining her relationship with her grandchildren. 3 days later, Karen called saying she wanted to see the kids again. I told her Jake wasn't home, and she said that was fine. She could visit without him. That's when I laid down the new rule. I told her from now on, she could only visit when Jake was home. I wasn't comfortable being alone with her anymore after what happened. She called me dramatic and rude again, then hung up on me. Jake said I did nothing wrong and that he completely understood why I made that boundary. Karen hasn't visited since, and honestly, the peace in my house has been amazing.